We haven't even had the election yet, and I am sick and tired of politics. How about you? It's not good for our health to constantly be worried about things that politicians want you to be concerned about. It isn't good for our health to stress over things that we cannot change. Of course, I did vote, and hopefully there won't be catastrophic cheating happening this time around, but once I voted, it is out of my hands. What will happen will happen. I know many of you are concerned about a particular person getting in office and then ending the U.S. as we know it. Yes, if she gets in office, that will happen, but what good is it to stress about it now? Prep what you can and deal with it later. If you put all your time and energy into being prepared now, just look at how much better off you will be when SHTF does happen. Change your mindset. We as a society have become so dependent on others. We rely on the water company for water to come out of our tap. We rely on the power company for electricity. We rely on the television to entertain us. We rely on grocery stores to provide all the food we need. What if we stopped relying on all those entities? Those companies were not around 200 years ago, and the ones who lived then were just fine. If they weren't, we wouldn't be here today. We have become spoiled to certain things because our culture teaches us to consume and go into debt. Being in debt means we are relying on someone else. If your basic needs were taken away with the click of a button, would you be able to survive? Would you know how to get water, grow food for your family and animals, maintain your animals, and preserve your harvests? We are currently controlled and told what to do. We do not have freedom like we once had. We are told we cannot succeed without the government and that we cannot solve problems on our own or provide for ourselves. If you have ever researched U.S. history, this would sound familiar. This is why the U.S. became a free country so that we could have independence and be self-reliant. On July 4th, 1776, the 13 American colonies at the time severed their political connections with Great Britain because they were tired of relying on them, who did not have their best interest at heart. They risked so much so that they could have a life free of rules, reliance, and control. It is happening all over again. The U.S. is being corrupted from the inside, and we as citizens need to get away from this. Should we sever our connection? We supposedly live in a free country, so why are we not free? What if there are supply chain issues? We have seen that a lot with Hurricane Helene. Road closures have caused stores to not receive their shipments. What if there were other types of supply chain issues, such as the trucks not running at all? How will the stores get the food or supplies and then be able to turn around and sell it to you? We need to become self-sufficient so that we don't have to rely on others. In history, you see this in the Great Depression back in the 1930s. Most people already had a garden or animals to live off of and the knowledge to preserve food. They were what we call in the modern day preppers. During that time, it was all about self-reliance and making sure you had food and supplies to fall back on in hard times. It was taking responsibility for yourself and not relying on others to have what you needed. Why are you putting your life, your family's lives, your children's lives in the hands of someone else? Why not take that control back and live a life where you don't have to be dependent on anyone else? You need to stick with what you know is dependable. Whether that is your neighbors, your community, yourself, your knowledge, your medications, your food, or whatever it may be. Take back that control. By taking back control, you will see many benefits. One of those is your health. Do you want to continue to rely on the healthcare system that is broken? Do you want to rely on prescription medications that have lifelong side effects? Do you want to rely on the stair climber at the local gym for exercise? Why not enjoy real food from the garden and not the processed garbage that looks like food? Why not get the exercise of being outside in the sun, working hard and enjoying nature? Why not go back to our roots? Work on your skills now so that you can get out of the system that is being governed and run by people who could care less about us. Now, I'm not saying if Trump wins, everything will go back to normal. Many systems will be put in place for him to fail during the time it takes for him to be inaugurated. That is, if he wins. If he wins, we may have 4 years of prepping and trying to get back on our feet as a country, but I fear after that, we won't have long. Our country cannot continue to go through the corruption and compromise it has went through the last 4 years. It just can't. We need to work on developing real skills and acquiring real knowledge so that we can be self-reliant and independent. This will help us not be in a panic system where we don't have support from all these unsustainable systems. We can't live like that. That is no way to live. Let's focus on what matters. Let's learn real skills. Let's learn real knowledge. Let's have real relationships. Let's build community. Let's stop worrying about being politically correct and let's bring back the good. What are your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments below. SHTF Survival Homestead Teaching Farm thanks you for watching this video. Please continue to help us help you by liking, sharing, and subscribing.